let's do some illusion art. There's lined paper illusion, blank paper illusions, and then graph paper illusions. I think we shall start off with the lined paper. So this first one is the octopus kind of blending through the lined paper to make it look like it's crawling towards you. I think this one's pretty easy, so let's start off with that one. Also, I'm putting this notebook behind because I feel like it might bleed onto my desk mat. So I'm just going into these with no instructions whatsoever. So now that I think about it, maybe like a smaller tipped pen would work better. I'm going to outline the octopus first. Okay, that is its first leg. You know, I have a good feeling about this. I feel like I already kind of screwed up. I was so confident literally 3 seconds ago. Like that head, like this head shape is not very octopus-like. It's okay. Maybe I can like go like that. Oh god, that made it worse. Okay, maybe this is harder than I thought. Why did I think this would be easy? Do not underestimate illusion art. I think this one's pretty easy. That is what I did, and now I very much regret it. Right now, it might seem a little bit off, but that is because we have yet to fill it in. It's going to look great once we fill it in. Don't skip. And this is the last of its leg. Boom. Okay, now all we have to do is color it in. I know right now it doesn't look like much, but this is going to be a 10 out of 10. We are going to rate this a 10 out of 10. And this is the finished result. Okay, to be honest, I really was doubting myself. And you probably were too, because, I mean, it did not start off well. But I think, now looking at this, it is quite successful. I can't say successful with my retainer in. I mean, besides the fact that I did kind of go over the lines, see like this kind of bled over the lines. That's if I was being really picky, but I think if you just look at it quickly, quick glance, you're like, huh, okay, that's pretty good. Let's name him, okay? Let's call him Reverend. I would rate him like a 9 out of 10. We are starting off strong. And this next one looks a little bit harder because it has a little bit more detail with the shading, but it is kind of the same idea with the cat and the lined paper. So let's just see how it goes. This is the first time that I've tried drawing a cat on paper. It's been a long time since I've tried traditional art. I don't know if you know. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, I mainly do iPad digital art. I rarely ever do traditional. So if this looks bad, it is not my fault. It is 100% my fault, but still technically. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing and kind of talk like this is a tutorial, okay? All right, welcome back to my traditional art video. I do traditional art almost every day. So what you're seeing here is from a true professional traditional artist. So when you do traditional art, you wanna make sure that you have something under your paper so you don't bleed onto your table. I don't know what I'm doing. I should really just shut up and draw, right? Okay, now I have to draw a cat foot kind of peeking over like that. I feel like if you were to draw these in school, like during class, you'd be like the coolest person ever. I would think that they're so cool if I saw this on someone's paper. Actually, no, listen to your teacher. Don't do this. Do this in your spare time. Okay, now I'm confused. Like, do I skip one line or 2 lines? Okay, yeah, maybe... Oh, wait, no, I actually screwed up. Did I? I'm so confused now. Yeah, definitely don't do this in class because you kind of have to focus for this one. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. So why do I have the right to tell you what to do, right? What am I even saying? Okay, now if people didn't click off before, now they definitely clicked off. I'm so sorry. If you're still here, you're the best. Okay, kind of unrelated, but I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of comments. Like, what happened to your hand? Ooh, okay, wait, that tail looks so stiff. Aren't cattails supposed to be like very agile? Anyways, yes, the bandage. I burnt myself. I'm stupid. I was opening the oven and then it just touched the top and then it just sizzled off my skin. TMI, that was probably kind of gross. Hold on, I have to focus on drawing the cat. Okay, yeah, but I think we should turn this into the secret message. If you don't know, I hide secret messages in all my videos and we just have a little fun sometimes in the comments. This time can be especially fun. You can be like, Viyaura, I can't believe that band-aid on your hand was because you were working at a 5-star Michelin kitchen and you burnt yourself while you were making a creme brulee. And then other people in the comments will be like, oh my goodness, Viyaura is a Michelin star chef and an illusion drawing master. I know, crazy, right? Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that while drawing the cat because now its face is so bad. No excuses, it's just bad. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not even considered like art YouTuber. I'm just doing random stuff and just so happen to draw sometimes because I cannot draw. This is not what an actual artist should draw a cat to look like, you know? This is like some sort of uncanny valley cat human hybrid. I should have just drawn like a cartoon cat because I know I can't draw realism, but then I just for some reason was a little bit delusional and thought I could. Should I just, okay, I'm gonna put you on time-lapse mode while I regrettably fill this in and I will see you soon. All right, here is the finished cat. Yeah, this is actually really bad. So I would say this is definitely not mastered. Okay, yeah, that one was actually a fail, like a genuine fail. Now this one doesn't look that bad though, right? Should I try again? Oh, wait, no, I actually screwed that up. This line is supposed to have nothing there. This one, actually, it was a fail. Let me try again. Yeah, okay, this might be considered a fail already because this cat is staring in your soul and it is terrifying. Okay, yeah, I think this is probably worse than the first one. Oh, I did 4. Okay, well, they're all pretty bad. Maybe the first one is the best. I shouldn't have doubted the first one. So yeah, now looking at the first one, maybe it's not bad. I would give it like a 6 out of 10, and I would consider this partially mastered. So let's move on to the next one. Wait, after the cat, I was like, I literally failed myself again, first with Reverend the octopus and now the cat. So I literally had to redeem myself. So boom, Reverend the octopus hoodie and Meow Cat hoodie. I know, they're both so cute. Let me know which one you like. And of course, I put it up in the secret store. So if you go to my site, you actually won't find it unless you type in secret store in my store. Then you'll find it. But truly, other than that, it's like completely hidden. You won't find it. But yeah, I'm team Meow Cat hoodie. I'm gonna get it for Christmas, but most importantly, we redeemed Reverend and Meow Cat. Round of applause. And the third line art illusion is a young boy hiding behind the lined paper or the lined lines. So he's got his spiky hair. Like those are tiny ears. Those are very tiny ears. Wait, this is actually kind of cute so far. Okay, okay. And then the fingers are on this same line like that. Okay, that hand looks a lot better than that hand. I don't know what happened here. The proportions are a little bit like Cartoon Network. What is going on? And then the shirt ends. Yeah, these proportions are really questionable. But that is why I love cartoons. Questionable proportions. Cute. Okay, the little smudge there. And it kind of looks like he's swaying to one side, but that's okay. Legs. And then finally, we have the shoes. Wait, that's really cute. You know, perhaps what would make this look a little bit better is if I make these lined blue lines just a little bit more blue and thick. Okay, how is that? It's a little bit more like in your face. No, that's not the right word. Does it look good? I mean, for some reason, mine is a lot more wide than the one I was going for. Okay, let me try one more time, but with a thicker Sharpie and try to make him more narrow. So hair, face, collar, almost forgot the hands, t-shirt and arms, end of the t-shirt. Okay, here's where he got a little bit wide. Shorts with the legs, and then finally the feet. But I don't know, they're both pretty cute. I actually like this one. I don't know why, but I think he's a lot cuter. Very cute. I'd give him like a 5 out of 10. It could be better. Okay, just took a nice break, little intermission. Literally just posted a YouTube video 55 seconds ago. The hustle never stops. Okay, back to the drawing. Quick bonus one, letters hidden behind a line. And I feel like this one's gonna be quite fast. That is why I'm gonna call it bonus, but who knows? It could be one of the hardest ones. Okay, the L is looking pretty good. I'll color in the letters after so it looks better. Just if you're curious, I feel like the E is the hardest one because what is going on here? I know the S is gonna be hard. Okay, well, yeah, it looks like an S. Is it a good looking S? No. And there we go, colored in. Definitely did not screw up that line over here. Let me see if I can write viyaura. How did I mess up on the last letter? Is that ugly? Maybe like if you blur your eyes or if I move it very fast, it looks okay. But if you really, really look at it, it's also not the best. But that was a fun bonus round. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Also, look, I'm definitely really messing messing up my notebook. All right, let's do the graph one next. And we are back with the straight lines. If you know me or you watched this video, you know that I cannot do straight lines, but that is a pretty good straight line. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. This one is pretty straightforward. And now we have to draw these little like triangles. All right, the triangles are now done. Now I have to fill in some of these with a pencil. I have this arbitrary lead pencil here that we're just gonna lightly color in. I just know this video is going to take up a lot of storage on my computer. Right now, this is kind of looking like a fancy Dubai chocolate bar. Anyways, we're done with this. Let's get down to a better angle. Wait, I got to smudge it a little bit first. So I have a tissue here and I'm just giving it kind of a little drop shadow. Okay, now let's bring you down. Ooh, okay. What do we think? It's not bad. I feel like I'm not really at a correct angle. Okay, that's kind of better, right? I feel like maybe if I shaded these like going downwards like that, it would look a little bit more legit. Did that make a big difference? I don't think it made a huge difference, but it does look kind of cool. Okay, not bad. I would give this like a 6.8 out of 10. And back with another graph one, we are now going to do a 10 by 10 square. Okay, I kind of had a small little blip here, but that's okay. We can move on. Within the square, we are now drawing another square. And in that square, we are going to draw another square. This is like squareception. Parts of these video is so reminiscent of my mastering 3D art because I guess in some way, some of these are 3D. Oh my gosh. I forgot the notebook. Okay, it didn't really bleed through. That scared me. Oh my god, when I lifted it up, I was like, oh no. So we got that first corner done with that, and then now we just have to draw the steps, which I'm gonna do with a thinner black pen because that is what they did. Oh my gosh, I messed up. That should have been a straight line. What do I do? Do I just keep going? Do I just make this straight and just pretend that that never happened? I don't know how I managed to screw up twice so close to the end. I kind of made a smudge there and then I drew that straight line here, but that's okay. Let's see the end result. Okay, that's not bad. It's actually not bad. I mean, like, that was definitely a failure. The smudge, you can't really see the smudge. It's actually pretty cool, but you guys are probably gonna make me do it again, right? Because this isn't technically mastered. Okay, I will do it again just for you, but I won't film it just because I'm going to run out of storage for sure. Okay, we are done. The second one, no mistakes. I think this one is like a 10 out of 10. Look at that. Beautiful. I hope you also think it is a work of art. Maybe that is a little bit too high praise, but I think this is like a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. We're moving on to the blank piece of paper. Again, I am going into these with no tutorial. I'm just kind of winging it and then hoping that it's going to turn out looking kind of similar. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge of the paper because I'm scared I'm going to draw on my desk mat, which would not be good. Okay, we have a good base here. Now we just have to draw like 500 little U shapes. So I will put you on time-lapse mode because that is probably going to be very boring. Okay, I am about halfway through and I think it's going pretty smooth. You know, I'm just drawing a lot of U's. Sorry, I probably sound so tired right now. I feel like sometimes my voice is just like really dead sounding and then people are just like, why do you hate me? And I'm like, no, I don't hate you. I'm just feeling very mellow, very chill. And then my voice kind of reflects that. Now, to kind of give it more like a 3D effect, I have to go in and kind of highlight each of these U-shaped things, just kind of outline to create a shadow. Okay, 3 of these kind of cone shapes are now done. I think this took about 20 minutes in total. So this entire thing, I can't do the math, but... Okay, we are about halfway done. How's it looking so far? Not bad. All right, and we are on the final what do you even call this? Like cone shape. And in a way, it has been quite therapeutic. Kind of like a mini black and white coloring book. You know what is a good coloring book? Boom! Cute holidays, cozy festivities to color. I'm so sorry. I'm very ashamed that I did that, but it is a good coloring book. So just letting you know. Okay, we are now finished with this one. How do we feel about this? Objectively, I actually think it's not bad. I'm gonna give it like a 7.9 out of 10. So they do a lovely shading of a skull that looks like he's trying to break out of the paper. Amazing. So this is kind of its head. This is the eyebrow bone. Right now, I'm just kind of panning out the shapes. I will add in the little details after. This is the, what's it called? Cheekbone. You know what I realized? YouTube videos, sometimes the beastification really gets to people. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, what's up, guy? And then I'm like a little bit too hype and it's like, okay, calm down, viyaura. Like, you don't have to act like that. Sometimes we just need to act like how we would normally talk, right? That is just so off topic. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go in with the tissue and just lightly smudge it out a bit just so we can get a clearer understanding of the entire shape. And then I can go in with a little bit more detail. I don't know how this is looking so far. Objectively, you can kind of tell it's a skull, but I don't know if it looks like it's like coming out of the paper, you know? Hello, welcome to this skull time lapse. This is editing mode viyaura giving you a nice little voiceover. How's it going? This is like a nice little intermission again, taking it slow. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I go a little bit too fast in my videos. So this is like a nice little mid break. Okay, now I have to do the teeth, and the teeth really scare me because I don't know. I feel like I just can't draw teeth, and I feel like I position the mouth so it's like not big enough to hold all the teeth. Hello, editing mode viyaura is back, and here I am filling in the teeth. The teeth was definitely the scariest part. Speaking about teeth, can you guys tell that I have my Invisalign in? Yeah, because my S's, they sound a little bit lispy. Okay, here is the finished skull. I think this took about 25 minutes again. I think I could do like some maybe darker shadings over here. I was thinking maybe like an 8 out of 10. It's not terrible. You can tell that it's a skull, but I think you can still tell that there is some skill issue here because it doesn't really look like it's like coming out of the paper, right? I really don't know. I really don't know. Let me know in the comments, please. I'm very curious. But for now, we'll give this one an 8 out of 10. Thank you, Mr. Skull, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, yeah, now looking at it closer up, it's probably like a 6 out of 10. It kind of looks like an orangutan skull instead because my proportions are terrible. All right, and the next one we are doing this circular optical illusion. So I have this circle here that we're going to draw a nice round circle. You guys remember when I drew that perfect circle? Oh, good times. Okay, that's not really perfect. That's all right, we can keep going. And then we just have to draw a few lines. So let's draw one here as well as one on top, kind of like bordering the circle. Okay, so now I have kind of bordered this circle with some questionable squares. Some are a little bit longer, some are a little bit more square-like. Now we just take this line and kind of draw a circle shape like that. And then another one, same on the other side, and the last one. And then I totally forgot to do the line in the middle. Okay, this is like a pretty good base, right? You notice I went in with pencil first because I felt like I would screw up. But aside from that, I think we can start filling in some color. Okay, I've now colored in the ball, and I think I just have to color in the rest of these little checkered cubes, and then we're done. Okay, and this is the last square that I have to color that I think really makes up the illusion. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'll color in this one as well. Just a, you know, a little bonus. Very cool. Just kidding. I'll color in this one too. I don't know why I keep coloring more. Okay. And then once this, oh dear. Now that this is done, I just have to slightly shade the bottom of this a little bit. And voila. What do we think? What do we think? This is pretty cool, actually. Not bad. It's a little tiny bit messy, but it still gets the message across. So I'm gonna give this like a 7.8 out of 10. Okay, now that I have a closer look at it, it is kind of a little bit very messy. Wait, but then I'm just like, it's still not bad. I don't know. Maybe I should just stop rating because I clearly cannot rate my own stuff. All right, and time now for a trip down memory lane. So you guys remember Reverend the octopus? Very cute. Oh, our lovely cat attempts. I think we said this one was the best one. Yeah, these ones are kind of questionable. And our lovely, I forgot his name, Captain. I think this is Captain. And then his friend, Vice Captain. And then our bonus round and going on to the graph paper. Oh, okay. This one, wow, this one's actually pretty good. I forgot what I rated this one, but it's actually kind of cool looking. And then this one. Oh, this second one turned out really good, I think. Very clean lines, which I have a hard time doing. And this was one of the attempts that I did not even put in the final video. That's all right, because we got this cool guy. Very cool. This looks like something from Stranger Things. And then, oh, this is another failed attempt of this one that I also did not show. Oh, I was like, why do I have a blank piece of paper? But nope, it's our Mr. Skull. It's kind of cool. It's not bad. And then this one still, okay, I feel like if I move it fast, it looks better. But then if you really look at it, you're like, oh, okay, it's a little bit messy. Here are all the finished optical illusion designs. Let me know which one is your favorite. Did I master illusion art? I guess that is up to you to decide. And maybe part 2 coming soon. We'll see. Look, this is fresh, new, never been open. I don't even know if I can open it. Why am I having so much trouble? There we go. Wow, this is thick. I'm actually gonna go back and make his legs just a little bit sharper, more octopus-like. Are you a cat person or a dog person? Genuinely, I feel like I would be a cat person, maybe, but I am allergic to cats, so I can't even get near a cat. Okay, you would literally not believe me, but I just drew the exact amount of blocks necessary, and I didn't even count it. No one's gonna believe me, but you saw me draw that line, and I didn't do any prior, like, counting. Watching some Netflix on the side. If you are hearing this, comment your favorite TV show. Maybe I can give it a watch.